You know what I mean? That's farm culture 101. If dying provides for my family, which is a sad thing to say, but that's the culture. And it's no different than the sense of service to go, I'm going to go and I'm going to serve and I'm going to provide freedoms for my fellow man, and my life is worth that cost, right? And it's just the culture you grow up in. That's military culture, and I'm just trying to introduce you to some farm culture. But so we had this burst effect, and the average American is point oh, I think it's a 0.01% chance to commit suicide. It's not, I mean, that's not incredibly high when you think about it. 0.01% for a normal person. Military, you said, you just talked about this, is 0.03, 3 times higher, or maybe it's 0.04. It's 3 or 4 times higher, kind of.
It's close. I say 4 times more. It's like point three something something.
Yeah.
It rounds
Well,
up to four. It's
it
closer to like four
largely, military largely varies. So this goes in waves too, because as we see a response right after, you know, we had some, we actually had some combat right after 9/11. Then we had some combat in Iraq a few years after that. And so right after those combat eras, you see a spike. That number goes from 0.03 up to maybe 0.05. It goes up because you have more people with more PTSD all of a sudden. And then it'll kind of level back out. So last year, and again, this is just statistically, and it's a weird thing, and I hope it goes away. Last year in farming, the chance for a farmer to commit suicide went up to 0.3. I didn't say 0.03. I said 0.3. It was 10 times higher than military veterans and 30 times higher than the average person. And nobody knew. Nobody knew except for the little bitty farm culture that's in America. But that was how bad it got right when that COVID hit, because all these people were like, man, I'm about to lose my land. And then COVID came and they were like, no, I'm really going to lose it. And they were like, that's not going to happen over my dead body. And their mindset is such in that way that that's what they did. And so if you're wondering like where my mental health stuff came from, I literally started to flip on my camera and say, don't clock out early, because my friends in the farming community, 30 minutes away did it, an hour north of me did. And just all of a sudden they were just clocking out. And I was, don't, it's going to get better. Don't, but it was this little pandemic that came through the farming community last year. And it's leveled back out. It's killed back down as commodity prices go back up. But it was bad last year. And so that's where I got started into mental health awareness and just, I understand today it might not seem like there's a tomorrow, but there is, and you need to hang around and see it. You know what I mean?
It's this thing that I've started saying, TR. It's nothing in this life worth having, like really truly worth having, a happy marriage. Kids that are prosperous, being prosperous. Nothing worth having in this life is easy.
No,
nothing. If you keep going, it will be worth it in the end.
Absolutely.
It's something that I've been saying a lot now at the end of my shows, at the end of my lives. Is nothing in this life worth having is easy. If you just keep going, you will get there.
Absolutely.
And for everybody that depression, for everybody that's sad, what is it that you truly want? You want the pain to go away. You want to be happy. You want to experience life and be good. How are you ever going to achieve those things if you clock out?
Yeah, exactly.
You'll never get the things you're truly searching for.
Absolutely. And that goes back to what we started on earlier with those highs and lows. You're in the high, you can be in the low next month. Just don't get so focused on where you are in the high and low, and just always remember that life is worth living. It is. It really is. Anybody that's I compare it to golf. So anybody that's ever played golf knows that you literally go out and you spend like 4 hours shanking balls into the woods, but you hit like 1 or 2 good golf shots, and you're like, oh, this isn't so bad. And life is like that a lot of times, so you keep going for the shots that are good, and the things in my life that have been so good. Getting married, meeting my wife. I mean, that's just been one of the highlights of my life. Kids, the birth of my 2 kids, and if I had if I had given up at any point before those things, I would have missed those things. If you give up, anybody in this live gives up before those points, you miss those things. And I just because of the content I do, I see a lot of people in the comment sections. I wish I could find this kind of love. I don't know why. It might be tomorrow. You might bump into that person on the street tomorrow. Just don't get so hung up in the low. Don't get so hung up in the highs. Just always remember it's worth living.
Man, I would even say don't even get so hung up on trying to find somebody else to value your worth.
Hey, if you can't, one of the best pieces of advice I got, if you can't be happy by yourself, you can't be happy with anybody else either. And that's just
That is the best advice. If you can't
yeah,
be 100% good with who you are and
yeah,
who you choose to be, how are you going to be 100% good for anybody else in your life? And
exactly.
who and why would you allow anybody else to dictate how and who you feel you are?
And then I mean,
You
even to the if we follow that logic through, well, I'll be better. If I could find somebody, my life would be better. You can't put that weight on somebody. You can't say my happiness depends on you providing me to it. That you will wear that person out. You
God,
can't do that.
TR,
You
bro,
have to learn to be happy by yourself.
you are hitting on so much stuff that I talk. Look, there's a we have to change the vocabulary when we talk about relationships, right?
Yeah.
Don't tell somebody you need them. What
Oh
kind
no.
of weight do you put on somebody when you tell them, I need you in my
Yeah.
life? I need
Absolutely
you.
not.
Look, there's only a few things you need in this life to live: food, water,
Yeah.
air, food, water, air, and shelter. You need those
Yeah.
four things to really just survive. Everything else in this life is a want. And I
Yeah.
tell you what, when you tell somebody that you want them, that you choose them, when you tell them, hey, I can live life without you, I'm good with who I am.
Yeah.
I can live a happy life without you because I am happy with who I am as a
Yeah.
human being. But I am choosing you because you
Yeah.
help in my happiness. You are a
Absolutely.
choice in my life. You are a
Absolutely.
choice in my life. To me, feeling like a choice to somebody,
That's better.
being a choice to someone is so much better because now I don't have to be that person for them. They're just choosing me for me.
Yeah. So people look at me funny or look at Brittany and I funny when I tell them one of my favorite things about her is that she does not need me at all. She doesn't. If I die tomorrow, she does not need anything from me. Will she miss me? Absolutely. But does she
Yes.
need me to live? No, not at all. And that was like when I was looking for somebody to marry, it was one of the qualities I wanted most in a person. Somebody that just did not need me. Because I had dated people that were like, no, I need I need you, and I was like, it was a big turnoff for me. I just didn't want it.
What
I didn't want the pressure
what
of it.
what kind of burden does that put on you? Like, I better
Oh,
not
I
fuck
didn't want
up.
it at all. I was like, no, that's
I guess I better not fuck up if you feel like you need
yeah.
me.
No.
You
Oh,
know,
and
you're not allowed to make mistakes. You're not allowed to mess up. But being
oh, I
somebody's
can't like I
choice
couldn't stand it.
allows you to
I
be
couldn't
free.
stand it. And this is a long time ago. I haven't dated in a long time, but I could not stand it. It was almost like an instant breakup for me if a woman, a girl, a young lady ever looked at me and said, I don't know if I could live without you. Like if things were getting rough, I don't know what I would do if we broke up. Well, then you're gonna have to go find out right now because I'm not. You're not putting that on me. You know what I mean? I am
No,
not. Whether or not you are on this earth is not is should have nothing to do with me and our relationship. That's
it
between you
shouldn't
and
have
God, man.
exactly between you and God. And really, really, I would even go as far as to say, if you want a relationship with God, you got to be good with who you are first too, because God gave you that free will to be good with
Yeah,
you, to make that choice, right? Like you have to make that choice. So really, even your relationship with God comes down to you making that choice to have that
yeah,
relationship. The choice in
yeah.
your life, like for who you are, like people don't realize how much power they have over their self-worth. I really don't think people truly realize that. And to be honest with you, I sometimes struggle with it as well.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and,
Well, and
and
that's
Amy, if somebody
that's
told you that they don't know what they would do without you, you need to tell them
no.
you need to go find out because you
Yeah,
need to be okay
exactly,
with being by
exactly.
yourself. You need to be okay with who you are before you ask me to be a part of your life. And you should be asking me. You shouldn't be telling me you need me.
That's right.
So, but Tr brother, I'm gonna let you go, man. I know you got. I appreciate you doing this duel with me.
No, you're fine, man.
This
It's
is a
good talk.
huge, great conversation that would have been fucking perfect to be recorded for the podcast.
Well, we can do it again.
Yes, we'll do it again. We'll do it. We'll
It's
just.
still worth talking about.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, man. Um, I'll shoot. I know. I know your DMs are freaking crazy.
No, I'll message you. I'll
All right,
message you.
yeah. Message me some contact information. We'll work out some a time.
All right.
If you have Zoom, a good working internet connection, maybe some headphones. That's it. That's all you really need. And a couple hours of your time. It's a recorded session, so if we talk about anything that you're like, hey, maybe you shouldn't put that out there, I can edit it out. I can make us sound real good. Granted, I won't be editing your voice too much. I'm not gonna change your voice, man. Seriously, your voice alone is gonna like I got a face for radio.
Yeah.
You for radio. You
Yeah.
you have a voice for radio. So uh, go ahead and shoot me a message. Let's work something up.
All right.
Let's get the recording done next week. And if you don't mind, just let people know you're gonna.
All right, I will, buddy. All right,
Man.
appreciate you, man. You have a good evening.
Take it easy, TR. You be safe, and I look forward to seeing you in September, brother, and
Right.
talking to you next week.
All right, buddy.
All right, brother. Take it easy.
All right. So for the people in my live, apparently my screen is frozen. So myself. So is my screen any better now, or am I still frozen? If I'm still frozen, I'm just going to turn it off, turn it back on. Still frozen? Yes, yes, yep, yep. I'm back. Y'all can see me moving. You can see the video.